This is your WGBW Daily News Roundup for the Talk of Green Bay, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM.
From the 97.9 WGBW Newsroom, I'm Connie Fellman with this local news update. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died. Cheney served 2 terms as the 46th vice president alongside George W. Bush. During his time as vice president, Cheney was one of the deciding factors in the invasion of Iraq in 2003, which was in response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Dick Cheney was 84. We have 2 new inductees in the Packers Hall of Fame. The Packers just announced former players Tramon Williams and Earl Dotson will be inducted at the 56th Hall of Fame induction banquet this summer. Cornerback Tramon Williams played a crucial role in the defense that helped lead the Packers to a Super Bowl 45 victory. He was ranked number 1 corner in the NFL that season. Earl Dotson spent his entire NFL career with the Green Bay Packers. From 1993 to 2002, Dotson served as a cornerstone of the team's offensive line during a highly successful time in Packers history. In Dotson's time, the Packers saw the team achieve 8 playoff berths and a Super Bowl victory. The gales of November are here, and a Midwest legend lives on along the northern shores of Wisconsin. 50 years after the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior, a new memorial now stands in Washburn to honor the crew. All 29 men were killed in the notorious wreck. The memorial is built from pieces of Ashland ore dock and includes pellets from the ship's final load. The story still echoes through generations, kept alive by the famous song that tells of that November storm. After weeks of gas prices going down, the trend reversed recently in northeast Wisconsin. Over the past week, average prices went up just over 15 cents a gallon for us, while the rest of the state saw a drop. Melissa Kay has more about the price at the pump.
Gas prices fell 4.7 cents over the last week for an average across the state of $2.75. This is 4 cents per gallon lower than a month ago and 9.8 cents lower than this time last year. Officials at Gas Buddy say the drop in prices will be short-lived in the Great Lakes states. Refinery challenges will cause prices to rebound soon. They say the national average should hover in the low $3 range due to a snag at a California refinery and OPEC Plus announcing another boost to oil production for December. The national average could potentially decline slightly once refinery issues are resolved.
The lowest prices for gas around Brown County are about $2.67 a gallon, which is still below the state average. Some SNAP benefits will come to Wisconsinites, but it seems they'll get less than they're used to, much later than they're used to. Civic Media's Savannah Tomei Olson has details.
In previous government shutdowns under different administrations, the government has used emergency funding to keep SNAP afloat. But this time, the USDA chose to discontinue benefits. 42 million Americans rely on SNAP to put food on the table. Here in Wisconsin, nearly 700,000 people rely on food share. Governor Tony Evers declared a state of emergency, and Wisconsin joined one of 2 lawsuits against the Trump administration. In both those cases, judges have ordered that the government must keep SNAP going. Now, the Trump administration says they will use more than $4.5 billion in emergency funding, and that's still only funding about half of what the program usually gets. In court filings, USDA officials say it'll take weeks to months to process that emergency money, leaving those almost 700,000 people here in Wisconsin still in limbo. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson.
On top of food share benefits that are in limbo, the federal government shutdown also led to 9 Head Start locations across our state closing their doors. Locations in Grant, Greene, Iowa, Lafayette, and Richland counties closed yesterday. Sheboygan Head Start preschools are expected to close in 11 days. That leaves hundreds of low-income families without child care so they can work and without the benefits that helped put food on their tables. Here's Jenny Maurer, Executive Director of the Wisconsin Head Start Association.
For all families, and particularly low-income families, the budget is tight. There is not a lot of room for flex, and you need to go to work. So families are really being put in impossible positions.
Here in the Badger State, 60% of households who use food share include children. 1 in 8 Wisconsinites faces food insecurity. With news at the top and bottom of the hour all day and on demand anytime at WGBW.FM, I'm Connie Fellman, 97.9 WGBW News.
A Bucks win at the buzzer. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. NBA, a Bucks victory thanks to a jump shot at the buzzer by Giannis Antetokounmpo. 117-115 over the Pacers. Doc Rivers says, though, Giannis is getting fouled every night and not getting the calls.
I just think the way he gets officiated is not right. It's brutal, and hell, we can call a foul every time. Well, if you do, they'll stop fouling him. So, anyway, we won.
The Bucks road trip continues tonight in Toronto against the Raptors. College hoops, number 24th ranked Wisconsin over Campbell University, 96-64. Marquette beat Albany, 80-53. NFL. A report says Packers defensive back Nate Hobbs will now miss time with a sprained knee, and tight end Tucker Kraft out for the season with a torn ACL.
I mean, he's a hell of a player, hell of a teammate, hell of a guy. I'm bummed for him. I'm bummed for us. But now other guys are going to get an opportunity.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with Sports on Mike Clemens.
It is going to be partly cloudy today with a high in the mid to upper 50s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We're going to drop down to around 40 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a little breezy with a high of 53. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
That's your WGBW Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WGBW.FM.